Mike here from All Pro Quality Garage Doors, and you guessed it,
It's raining.
sunny San Diego.
Yeah, it's raining out there.
Didn't I tell you not to talk?
Sorry about that.
Anyway, I got more cameras than tripods. So I told this cook to put on a funny hat and my contour camera for some close-up shots. We'll get in here tight, we'll get the circuit board and stuff. Maybe that camera might not catch it, maybe it will. I don't want to have to keep zooming in and out with that one. That one there is, when it doesn't get in tight. So I got knucklehead here. Anyway, you gotta wander off, dude. I'm not ready for you. I'll call you when I need you. Nice hat. Anyway, got this Merantec here. Strip it down. I got the I-beams for it. I just found those. I just got to assume everything works, but we're going to start plugging all these in, test them before we strip them down, make sure everything works. I don't know anything about this, so, we'll see. But I moved this camera here back a little bit, tilted it over. I noticed in the last video when I was leaning over doing some shots here, even though I got it taped off, the old silver back was getting in the way. So I scooted it back, tilted the lens out a little bit. That way, no matter how far I lean over, we should be good to go. So give me a minute to plug it in, and we'll get started. Okay, here we go. I got the cameras hooked up. Just kind of pigtailed them together. There's a little bit of a wire left over from where my guy snipped the wall button wire. And I'm just going to clip that and see if this thing will move. Let me get plugged in. Okay. I don't have a remote, so I'm just going to use this. The thing lights up. I don't know what it means, but thing lights up, so let's see what we got. See if we can't take a listen. If it fires up, see how quiet it is. It's running. It's not too noisy. It's actually pretty quiet. Looks to be a little slow. I don't know what speed these Merantecs travel at. It looks a little slow, but who knows? It had a slow stop, so it's going up. What I got to assume is 7 inches per second travel here, and then at the end it slowed down. That's usually an indicator DC motor. The model number on the plate gives you two model numbers. You've got a ML2005DB, and you've got 2005DC. Now, yeah, I think it's DC, but I think the DB and the DC would be for drive belt and drive chain. Otherwise, they would put both models down there. So, DB, drive belt, DC, drive chain. This one happens to have a chain. I got another one back in here, a white one. It's got a belt. One thing I noticed about this was I tried to pull the drive arm off so it didn't get in the way as it was traveling if it ran. And you can't take this off. You have to unscrew the straight drive arm from the trolley. So I literally had to unscrew the pin to get it off of there. Kind of strange. Okay, so we know it runs. Don't know why it's back here. I-beams work because it went both directions. So let's go ahead and unplug this bad boy and strip it down. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. I-beams. Let's take a look at these while we got them here. Okay, so the camera has a little, I guess, weather resistant cover over it. I was hoping they'd be wired directly in with a boot. Not to be. It's got a terminal deal here that is identical to the Genies from the late 90s, where you had that little brown thing you had to depress like an old, like the old stereo speakers, and then you shove the wire in and you see if it'll pull back out. Identical to this one here. You got the lens. This one is the transmitter and receiver. Same gig. Alright. So let's take the case off. See what's in this bad boy. Okay. No starter capacitor. DC motor. Looks real similar to the motor in the Genie Stealth, as a matter of fact. You got a big transformer right here. Circuit board. This here is the receiver. Kind of cool. Small. Plug it in. Not bad. Let's see here. Couple of different relays. This one goes to the light bulb power. This plug goes to the motor. Got a fuse here. I think most DC motor circuit boards do have a fuse in them somewhere. I didn't see any on the iDrive, but it doesn't mean that it's not a different type of fuse in there somewhere. This one says FU2 on it. FU2. That's beautiful. And I think that's a fuse on the iDrives. FU2. That's great. Especially after that iDrive video I did. Now I pull out a board that says FU2. Okay. So this machine, I mean, realistically, it's pretty simple. Transformer, motor, circuit board. Give me a minute here, and I'm going to snip a few wires, clear them out of the way, and then I'm pulling apart a little bit more. But there's not much to this, but I want to get into where the rail connects on this too, for the chain drive. Transformer, big bopper. Got to be worth something here. I got some copper in there. One of these days I'll take the time to actually strip one of these down, but I would think there should be some value in that, and I can get a lot of these. Alright, let's dig into the motor. You know what, matter of fact, let me flip it over and figure out how the rail connects to the motor head. Okay, I got the 4 screws that hold the rail to the motor head off, and let's see what we got here. You feel a little cog in here. Yeah, so this thing's got a, you know, this little shaft that comes off the motor's got a spline on there, and it meshes with that. I don't know, they look kind of small. I don't know if I trust it over a sprocket. I might take a sprocket, simply because the inner piece in here looks to be plastic. You've got a little micro switch here, and probably went to the RPM sensor. Alright, let's take this motor apart. Getting kind of hot in here. Go. So, DC motor with a little housing on it. It's interesting. I might crack this up a little bit further. Okay. Now, very much like the Genie chain glide, the upper housing here is all plastic. You know, which once again goes to say that, you know, for a vast majority of the country, that's sufficient. California, with the one-piece doors, maybe not. This area here is a good proving ground for machines because of the immense weight of some of these doors. They can be monsters, and they'll put a hurt on this plastic. So, top plate plastic. I don't see any cracks in it. Looks to be in pretty good shape.
This is German plastic, baby.
Good stuff, I guess. I don't know. Okay, motor. Made in Germany. I kind of like that. It's better than made in China. figure out how to crack this open. Like I said, I can't fix everything.
But I can break it all.
All right. Oh. There's a little E-clip in there. This is probably about as far as I can go, because the 3 bolts that hold it in place are Torx. Sometimes you can get a small flathead to fit in there, but now it's looking like that's it for me. One of these days, maybe I'll grind off this plate, take a look in behind here. Seemed to be a good little motor, though. Alright, so the sprocket so on the rail, it's kind of like the old Merantec 700s. They got a sprocket with a hole in the middle and the matching splines to go over this. Now the spline area in there looks to be plastic, although the sprocket is metal. Well, there you have it. The Merantec, a somewhat of a boring machine, which in a lot of ways is good. The track drive is far from boring. The complexity of it was unbelievable, which usually causes problems. Keep it simple. This was simple. I don't sell Merantecs. Not a big fan of them just because that's more parts I got to stock. I'm not familiar with them. It's hard enough to try to learn how to program these boards and then train your knuckleheads on the field to figure that out too and be familiar with them. Maybe one day if LiftMaster is giving me problems, I can switch. But I think right now, the Merantec, all in all, it doesn't look too bad. I wish I had something one way or another that says, this machine is having problems here or typically here or there, but I don't know. I'm really not familiar with them. So all in all, I wouldn't say a bad machine. I wouldn't say a good machine. We don't know. They're kind of new here to San Diego. Maybe more of you guys out there in whatever parts of the country you live in might have more experience with them. When I post this video up, stick some input in there. Let me know if, up there in Chicago, you guys got this stuff up here. I have no clue. I just go on what I know, and that's San Diego and Southern California. But I was looking at my pile back there. I saw a beauty. Stanley. Man, I can't wait to get into the little transmission, I think they called it back in the day, where all the gears were. That would had oil in it, and crack and pressure and all that. Another beauty. So this one here, I don't know. Can't say one way or another. It's a generic machine. Kind of makes for a boring video, but this was kind of cool. Receiver, wow. It was impressive. So all in all, I would have to say, disappointment on the I-beam wires where they connect in. I would have rather seen a boot there. But No, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna whip another one out here. I'll edit this one tonight, put it all together for you, get it out there, and then I'm gonna clean up here, and whip out that Stanley, and get to crack-a-lacking on that. I'm taking apart one of those years. I always hated them. I don't remember why, but it'll come to me. Okay, Mike from All Pro Garage Doors. See you with a Stanley sitting here next time. Coming soon. Take it easy.